puts these dreams among people as a sign. For the prophets, it was revelation. Revelation began that way for Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's described, it began as true dreams. Whatever he dreamt in the daytime, it would happen just as he dreamt it. So, when one sees an evil dream, it could be a dream of corruption or a scary dream, some horrible type things. What do? You don't go and start telling your friends about it. You know what I saw last night? Prophet ﷺ said, those evil dreams you keep to yourself. Close the door. Close the door. Why? Because you go and tell somebody this thing and the next thing you know they're dreaming about it also. So it doesn't spread. Keep it to yourself. Don't fear it. It's from Shaitan. Just keep it to yourself. We also know that physical harm can come through the satanic forces, because there's an authentic hadith which Prophet ﷺ had said, when you sleep at night, extinguish your lamps, for Satan may guide something like this little mouse to your lamp and burn your home down. Of course, we're not using lamps today. Maybe most of our homes here, but there's still people who use lamps and things. But there are other things related to it, where if you don't shut them off, if you don't close it or whatever, potential harm is there. That through the physical things within the home, things should be shut down, closed, etc. when a person goes to bed at night. You don't just drop in bed and forget everything. And of course, for those who smoke, and we should know that smoking is haram, don't be fooled into thinking it's still makruh. Yes, there was a ruling made about 500 years ago that it was makruh, when the scholars could not identify any harm from tobacco beyond bad breath, the smoker's breath. That's all that they could see of obvious harm. And we know what the Prophet ﷺ said about eating raw onions and garlic and coming to the masjid. He said, stay home. Because in our prayers, at the end of the prayer, we turn to our brother and we say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So as to avoid that harm, Prophet ﷺ said, better you pray at home. You lose the 25, 27 times reward of praying in the masjid, but protect your brothers and your sisters. So on the basis of that, they ruled that eating raw garlic and onions was makruh, something to go to the masjid. So they ruled that smoking produces something similar to garlic and onions, makruh. But from the 70s, the late 70s, when it was medically proven that smoking causes cancer, and cancer causes death, then the ruling had to change. This was fiqh. The ruling had to change now because we have different knowledge. Fiqh is not like a ruling is made and it is unchangeable. You have to distinguish between Sharia and fiqh. The Sharia, which is the revealed laws of Allah, Quran, Sunnah, that is unchangeable. It is for all places, all times. unchangeable. But our application of the Sunnah, which is our fiqh, as we understand the Sunnah, we try to apply it in different circumstances. That application will of necessity change when our knowledge about the situation changes. So when our knowledge was limited and we ruled it was makruh, that is okay. But when our knowledge was increased and we now know that it causes death, then the ruling has to change to haram. So smoking is haram. You should have no doubts about it. I know there are some people who are out there saying, oh, it's makruh. And you see their fingers are yellow and the teeth are yellow from the tobacco. But no, according to the Sharia really, the evidence is conclusive. It is haram. So for the smoker, he also puts himself in that dangerous situation. How many times people go to sleep, cigarettes, smoking by the bed, because they're addicts. You can't go to sleep without a cigarette. Fall asleep, cigarette falls, the house burns down with them. Among the psychological harms that come is at the time of death, when death comes upon us, where people become confused. You're telling them, say La ilaha illallah, renew your faith, let that be your last words, and it's like they can't hear, they're just stumbling, the words won't come out. The shaitan at that time catches them and prevents them from fulfilling or manifesting their faith. Prophet Muhammad had told us to say, "O Allah, I seek refuge in you from death through falling. I seek refuge in you from my house falling on me. I seek refuge in you from falling into a ditch, drowning, burning, decrepitude. I seek refuge in you from the devil harming me at the time of my death. I seek refuge in you from dying while fleeing from the enemy. I seek refuge in you from dying from a poisonous sting." But the key point, I seek refuge in you from the devil harming me at the time of my death. Also at the time of birth, we know that, as Prophet ﷺ had said, every child of Adam is touched by Satan on the day that his mother gives birth to him, except for Mary and her son. Even the plague, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ had said, the end of this nation would come through calumnies and plague. These are the stings from your enemies among the jinn. And whoever dies due to this affliction has attained martyrdom, the plague. And other diseases, even the istihada of women. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ referred to it as a kick from Satan, satanic kick in her womb, causes her to bleed more than the normal, and once the period of her menses is complete, then she just goes on to pray in spite of the continual bleeding. There are strategies which are used, standard strategies, which can be extracted from what happened in the time of Adam, how he was fooled by Satan, we see the main strategy is that of making falsehood seem attractive. That was the essence of what was happening there with Adam. Allah had told Adam not to eat from this tree. Satan came along and told him, this is the tree of eternal life, Shajaratul Khuld. So that tree, which was supposed to be evil relative to Adam, now took on a different perspective. It's looking attractive. And you see this happening, especially in our times, where people are using psychology to make forbidden things attractive. So, what used to be called in the old days usury, riba. In Arabic, riba, no. No bank is going to give you riba and tell you, here's your riba. In Arabic, they tell you, here's your faida, your benefits. That's what they tell you. They've renamed it. They have renamed it so it sounds attractive. Benefits. In English, it went from usury, which has a harshness to it, usury, to interest. Interesting. Interest. Something nice. Get your interest. They don't say, get your usury, come get your usury. Come get your interest. So, this is one of the standard techniques used in the time of Adam and continuing to be used till today. And that is the one we should be most cautious about. There are a variety of others. Time doesn't really permit me to go through each and every one of them. But one of the ways, I'll just mention briefly some more of them, is through exaggeration and through negligence. Exaggeration in worship. When the companions asked about the Prophet ﷺ's life from his wives, they described it to them. Some of them decided that they were going to fast every day. Other one decided he was going to be celibate, never get married. Another one decided that he was going to pray all night. And Prophet ﷺ, these are all good things, prayer. Can you pray too much? Yes. It's possible. Can you remember Allah too much? No. You can't remember Allah too much. But you can pray too much. You can fast too much. So Prophet ﷺ, he clarified.